Kasiyan, orang Melayu.
Orang-orang Rom belajar daripada orang Melayu.
Okay. Rome did not learn shipbuilding from Malays.
Seorang profesor Malaysia bikin pernyataan menghebohkan di video saya sebelumnya ya. Namun ini beda lagi teman-teman. Bangsa Romawi katanya sih belajar membuat kapal dari orang Melayu kuno. Video kuliahnya viral keras. Langsung ditolak dan dikritik habis-habisan oleh akademisi senior. Tak ketinggalan nih, seorang bule pun ikut menyoroti, ikut mengkritik pedas dan menertawakan klaim mengejutkan dari dosen Malaysia tadi. Langsung simak videonya.
Okay. So someone actually sent me that article and I'm still laughing. All right. Let's be serious. Okay. So a Malaysian professor, Dr. Soleha Yaakob from the International Islamic University Malaysia, IIUM, has been telling people that the ancient Romans, learned shipbuilding from the Malays. So I got sent this article and I'm laughing not because Malaysia is not a maritime powerhouse, it is, but because the claim collapses the moment it touches evidence. Rome's navy is one of the best documented engineering traditions in ancient history. We have shipwrecks, dockyards, technical manuals, mosaics, relief carvings, inscriptions, and historians like Polybius literally describing how Rome captured a Carthaginian warship and rebuilt it plank by plank. The Romans wrote everything down. If they had sailed thousands of kilometers to learn naval engineering from Malays, it would be carved into something somewhere. So where's the Malay evidence? No Roman manuscripts mentioning Malay shipwrights. No Austronesian loanwords in Latin. No Southeast Asian timbers in Mediterranean wrecks. No Malay rigging or sail patterns in Roman art. No hybrid hulls. Nothing. 2,000 years of archaeology and not a single splinter connects Rome to Malay shipyards. If this were real, historians would be fighting over it. Museums would be involved, and maritime archaeologists from Italy to Turkey would be redating old wrecks. Instead, Malaysia's own higher education minister had to publicly remind academics to stick to their expertise. That's not historical vindication. That's professional embarrassment. And the engineering alone kills the theory. Roman warships were long, narrow, odd attack machines built for speed, ramming, and boarding. Malay ships were designed for monsoon winds, open ocean stability, and island-to-island travel. Different oceans, different physics, different engineering philosophies. They're not even distant cousins. Here's the forensic death blow. Malay vessels used sawn, plank, and lashed lug construction. Romans used peg, mortise, and tenon joints. Totally different structural systems. If Rome learned Malay shipbuilding, those techniques would appear in Mediterranean wrecks. After 2 millennia of excavation, not a single Roman ship shows Austronesian construction. Timber does not lie. Archaeology does not care about nationalism. The wood remembers. And yes, of course, she has fans. Every bad historical claim gathers a cheer squad. Not because they have evidence, but because they like how the story feels. Some call it patriotism. Others use the classic, just because Romans didn't write it down doesn't mean it didn't happen, which is the same logic people use to defend Atlantis and alien pyramids. When your strongest argument is silence, the debate is over. If her supporters had anything to show, they would wave it everywhere. A manuscript, a peer-reviewed paper, a shipwreck, a single Latin sentence. Instead, they have Facebook posts and emotions. And this is what stings. Malays don't need to borrow Roman glory. Austronesian navigators reached Madagascar. They crossed the Indian Ocean. They settled half the Pacific in vessels built with their own hands. Meanwhile, Rome never managed to cross an ocean. The real history is already astonishing. For Soleha's claim to be true, we would have to believe Romans learned from Malays, Malays taught them, every Roman scribe forgot to mention it, every archaeologist missed it, and every shipwreck hid it. Every maritime historian overlooked it, and one lecturer with a PowerPoint uncovered the secret of world history. That isn't scholarship. That's mythology with a university badge. If she had evidence, she'd be celebrated worldwide. Instead, people are apologizing for her. Rome did not learn shipbuilding from Malays. Not in texts, not in wrecks, not in art, not in engineering, not in reality. History demands proof, and she did not bring any.
Guys, do you know that Malay back then can actually fly, and they also teach Roman how to build their ship? I just learned this joke from a university lecturer. Apparently, a real lecturer from International Islamic University, Malaysia. Her name is Professor Dr. Soleha Yaakob. She is a lecturer in Arabic language and literature. And in one of her class, she said that Romans learned shipbuilding from Malays and claimed the Malays mastered shipbuilding skills through contact with the Phoenicians. And she said that she held numerous articles supporting her theory but could not reveal them all. It's because you don't have anything to show, you are just lying. She also said that the Malays that taught Romans how to build their ship can also fly. I think she can be a really good stand-up comedian, to be honest. Like, not just me trying to mock her, a lot of experts such as human rights activist Siti Kazim mock her claim. She said that the professor can become a good fiction writer for movies. Also, a Facebook history page, See Heritage and History, state that no archaeological or written evidence show Romans learned shipbuilding from Malays. If she can be a lecturer, I think I can be a lecturer as well. What do you guys think about her?
I recently discussed how the Chinese learned shipbuilding from Malays. But Malays did not just influence the Chinese. We were master navigators and taught various civilizations. As discussed by Linda Schaefer in Maritime Southeast Asia to 1500, Malay sailors were highly skilled navigators sailing over the oceans for thousands of miles without a compass or written charts. They navigated by the winds and the stars, by the shape and color of the clouds, by the color of the water, and by swell and wave patterns on the ocean surface. They could locate an island when there was still something like 30 miles from the shores by analyzing the behavior of various birds, the animal and plant life in the water, and the patterns of swells and waves. Schaefer explained that Malays independently invented a sail made from woven mats reinforced with bamboo at least several hundred years BCE. The Malays were also the first to use a balanced lug sail, an invention of global significance. Balanced lugs can be pivoted sideways, which makes it possible to sail into the oncoming wind at an angle. It is believed that communities from Polynesians to the Arabs developed their sails from our invention. Not only did we invent various maritime technologies that were used by other nations, but as Schaefer described, sometime in the first millennium BCE, the Malays made one of the most significant discoveries in the history of navigation: how to ride the monsoons, the seasonal winds of Asia. Understanding and using the monsoon allowed ships to travel long distances relatively quickly. So it is no surprise that Malays have traveled all the way to Africa and the Middle East. Schaefer observed that while there is little consensus when Malay sailors first reached the East African coast and Madagascar, more than 3,000 miles to their west, some believe that contact occurred relatively early in the first millennium BCE, about 3,000 years ago. So it is no surprise that according to a 13th century Arab text, there was a Malay settlement in the vicinity of Aden, Yemen, sometime around the Roman conquest of Egypt in 31 BCE. Vast fleets of Malay outrigger canoes came and went from this place. We were already sailing to and from Yemen and Africa between 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. Various communities from the Polynesian to Arabs used sails that we developed, which makes the fact that the Chinese learned shipbuilding from us something expected, and so did various other civilizations.